For people that don't understand the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, how would you just summarize it right here?
I'll just steal Carol Dweck's words.
Okay.
So a fixed mindset is somebody who believes that their talent and intelligence are fixed traits set at birth. Somebody with a growth mindset believes that their talent and intelligence are malleable traits that will change with disciplined practice. And once you go from the fixed to the growth, then all of a sudden everything changes, because you realize, oh, I suck at that now, but I could get good at it. So she says to use the word yet. I'm not good at that yet. And just by putting that appending word on there, you realize, oh, okay, so if I wanted to put energy into that, I could get extraordinary.
So if you start using that word, you're actually prepping yourself to jump into that growth mindset.
100%.
What percentage of humans on this earth are in the growth mindset?
Ooh, that's a good question. If you say who never falls prey to a false growth mindset, as Carol Dweck defined it, I'll say basically nobody. But people that can avoid getting trapped too frequently in the false growth mindset, you're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe 10%? Like you can really meet people, especially in like high level business. You're going to meet a lot of people who have embraced the idea. They've gotten ahead, not just because they were naturally good. They've gotten ahead because they're like, yo, I used to suck at that and I just had to get good at it. There was no two ways about it. So I feel like, and maybe I'm slightly delusional because I've surrounded myself with people who think like that. And to be employed at Impact Theory, you have to think like that. But yeah, that seems about right, about 10%.
And what is the false growth mindset?
So the false growth mindset is where you go, a growth mindset is good. Everyone should have a growth mindset. And because you think it's good, you naturally think you have it, even though you are routinely actually stopping at something like, oh, I couldn't do that, it's not my fault, oh, that's too hard, whatever, you're blaming other people, that's the system's fault, that's this, that, and the other, and not realizing that you could indeed get better at that thing. You just have to be fully willing to take it on that, yep, I'm not good enough yet, but I can get good enough. And to really catch yourself when you're saying things like, well, be easy for you, Brian, where you grew up and I don't have the background. I never did heroin, so I don't know what it's like to overcome something like that, but you have that advantage, and see other people where it's like, well, okay, I could learn another way, I could figure it out, or I could go do heroin myself and figure out what it's like to really come out from under it. So it's like, really getting into that space and accepting that you can learn.
It's funny when I watch you turn into that guy. It's just so not you.
Very much not.
It's funny though. But did it used to be you?
Aggressively.
Okay.
It was everybody else's fault. Nothing was my fault. And I really believed it, by the way.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's just self-evident that people are holding you back. It is self-evident that that's somebody else's fault. It's self-evident. And that's what's scary about a fixed mindset, is it seems so true that it's almost beyond counterintuitive when you hear it. And the only reason I adopted it in the beginning was, I remember somebody saying to me, they were talking about growth mindset. They didn't have those words, but same ideas. And they were like, don't you hope I'm right? And I was like, fuck, I actually do hope you're right. I do hope I can get better at anything, at any time, just by putting in energy and effort. And that notion of, why would you shut the door on something you want to be true? Like, go explore it. Don't just offhand say, no, it's not possible. It's not like that. It's not what it is. You don't understand. You're smarter than me. That's why you can do it. How is that helping you? And that's where I was. Everyone was smarter than me. You're just smarter than me, man. I can't do that. I'm not as smart as you. Oh God, even saying that out loud takes me back to feeling like that. I used to feel like that all the time.
Yeah. When you say it, I kind of see 20-year-old Tom saying it. Yeah, because you go right into it. So it's nice to know, though, that it's that close. So
dude, and that's what I really want people to understand. And that's why I do not try to posture, because my real hope is that people go, oh fuck, I can be whatever I want. Let's go into some dangerous waters. Maybe not for you, but for me. I don't normally like to talk about this, but the culture wars and all that stuff, which freaks me out, it brings out the worst in people.
Please.
But I'm really getting scared that people no longer believe in class mobility. And if you don't believe in class mobility, that is a shitty life. Like, to think I'm just wherever I was born, I'm stuck. And that's not to say that there aren't problems that have to be solved. There are. There's a reason that that mentality has gripped so many people, because let's say, I don't understand the problems well enough to say that I fully get them, but let's just say, okay, they're set up. Maybe it's the education system and the debt is just too crushing. And okay, so that gives people this level of insecurity that makes them feel like I can't take the risks that I would need to take in order to move up. Okay, so we need to solve that problem for sure. But if you're adopting a mentality of I am stuck, it isn't possible. Class mobility is not a real thing. There's rich people and they oppress everybody else and we're all just stuck. If you think that, it's like having a fixed mindset. If you don't believe that your talent and intelligence are malleable traits, then why would you ever go to work trying to improve them? You know that it would be fruitless. So why would you try to start a business? Why would you try to start a second or a third or a fourth business, which is what most people have to do before they finally have their success? The only reason you do that is because you believe, oh, I can change classes. Like, I believe that. I grew up lower middle class, but I believed I could be rich. And because I believed it, like, don't get me wrong, I graduated college with tens of thousands of dollars in debt. I think the average now is $35,000. I graduated with $25,000. So I wasn't exactly like in some great position. My parents did not help me with that. The day I graduated college, they cut me off 100%. I had no money coming in. I had to find a way to provide for myself. There were times I couldn't pay my bills. I was sleeping in a closet on an air mattress that deflated. But the whole time, Brian, I believed I could get rich. I just had to fucking figure it out. And so I just kept trying this and failing and looking stupid and trying that and looking dumb and just kept trying. Because I believed that I could do it. And then once I found the real thing, dreaming isn't enough, you have to have discipline. Oh, boom, it clicks, and then it all takes off. And I spent 20 years getting good. So I really, really want people to understand, I was dumb and broke. I wasn't just broke. I wasn't some super genius broke. I was dumb and broke. I did every stupid thing you can ever imagine doing. I was wildly insecure. I was so frustrated, so lost, a deep sense of hopelessness. I used to come home and lay on the carpet. Why the carpet, you ask? Because I couldn't fucking afford furniture. So I would just lay on the floor with my face squishing into the cheap-ass nylon carpet and think, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I've already graduated college. I have no idea how to break into the film industry. I thought I was gonna get a senior thesis film. That would get me my 3-picture deal and I was gonna be the next Spielberg. And here I am, my senior thesis was an absolute fucking failure. I'm so embarrassed I stole the master. I will never let anybody watch it. I don't know how to make a film. It's too expensive. I don't know how to raise money. There's no YouTube, that doesn't exist. So I'm literally selling insurance door to fucking door, coming home and laying on the floor and being like, I don't know how this ever gets any better. And I go from that to where I'm at now. And what I want people to understand is I was there. And that whole time, sitting under $25,000 in student debt, I'm having to renegotiate with them because I know I can't just get rid of it and I can't pay it. And so what do you do? And so I was unemployed at one point and I had to call them and say, look, can I defer for a couple of months, which they will actually let you do? And like, I'm having to pay this bill this month, that bill the next month. Like, that's where I started. People see the now. People don't see, like, one video I want to do is to go to the actual apartments that I lived in and be like, I lived here in a fucking closet on an air mattress. I lived here with a bed that someone gave me for free. I lived here and had a couch that I wouldn't sit on because it was so shitty, but I would lean against it. So I had a couch finally, but I had to sit on the floor and lean against it. And like really show people like what it looked like for me for a very long time. I got married to this girl and she had to clip coupons. Like that was our life. But I believed I could do it. And because I believed I could do it, I put the time and the energy into figuring it out. Now people are just throwing up their hands. And I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not even saying it's not harder than it was. Great, you have it twice as hard, 4 times as hard as I do, 5 times, 10 times? What number would you like it to be? Let's say it's 10 times harder for you now than it was for me. Don't you hope I'm right? That it's possible? That even though it's harder, it's still possible? Because once they become hopeless, once they give up, then it's gnarly. So the only thing that
I've seen a tendency to do that out there.
It feels that way.
Right.
There is a general sense of malaise shared by, I don't know what percentage, because how much is just that's the news that pops off. So if you go on Reddit, you're going to see this all the time. You're going to see negative sentiment, left, right, and center, front page, all day, every day. What percentage of the population are they? Maybe they're tiny. Maybe this isn't as rampant as I fear it is. But I see it in my own employees. Whereas there's a sense of like, they're not even sure why it's harder. Because when you ask them individually, it's like, well, your situation, you're actually making more money than I was at your age. So what's the problem? But there's still the sense of, I can't move. So that's the one where I'm like, real problems need real solutions. I'm not in any way, shape, or form denying that. I'm just saying you have to believe that the problems can be solved and that you can rise up, that you can do something interesting. So yeah, I worry about this, the sense of helplessness.